My people. Well, we made it. It's Friday. And this is the third attempt I've tried to get this video made. So, fingers crossed. Don't forget to check out redhillcutlery.com, Satu Dave on YouTube, Timbo437 on YouTube, and My Bad Adventures on YouTube. Give them guys a sub and check out their content. It's good stuff. If you would like to donate to the channel, you can find the info to do so in the description. All donations will be used 100% for knives for content. You can join Patreon and if you like, and that would help support the channel tremendously. And if you do so before Halloween, you can get in on the giveaway. So don't forget to check that out. There's lots of great prizes with very, very good odds. As of right now, there's only 2 patrons. And if you get in on it, just if you join Patreon just to be a part of the giveaway, which is cool, I understand, you can cancel anytime after the first month. So there's that. If you would like to, make sure you subscribe, share, hit the bell notification, and hit that like button right down there if you don't mind. And if you do, you will automatically, as usual, be entered to win a half-used roll of electric tape. Handy stuff. Alright, like I said, this is the third time I've tried to get through this video. I haven't uploaded anything in a few days. It has just been a absolute train wreck of a week. And I just didn't want to give anybody crap content, you know. But I'm going to try to put that in the back of my head for the most part right now, because if I don't put content out there, YouTube will bury you. You kind of have to put it out there a bunch. And I don't get a lot of clicks or views or likes or any of that. So it's not like my videos get a lot of attention. And the less attention you get on YouTube, the faster you get yourself buried. So in light of that, today it is all about the studs. Today we're going to talk about a few thumb stud deployment knives that I think are pretty cool. They're all available except for one, but you can find it on the secondary pretty easy. Thumb stud deployment and hole deployment is my favorite, period. Anyway, I prefer it over flipper quite a bit. Here's an honorable mention. You guys have already seen this knife on the channel a lot. This one's not available, and it's kind of hard to find on the secondary, but it's got a wild looking thumb stud there, and it works really well. Fantastic knife. I wish they would have kept that instead of discontinuing all the good stuff, but you know, that's what ZT does. And the very first knife we're going to talk about does have another deployment method, but we're going to ignore that because this is my channel and my video, and I want to ignore it. And we're just going to look at it as a thumb stud deployment knife because I want to. And it is the WEAspirate. Crazy good quality out of the WE factory. It is Chinese made. It's a well-known brand, but not so much the model. You don't see it a lot. As far as, well, I haven't seen it a lot. I have seen it, but you don't see a lot of people talking about it. Very, very useful, slicey blade. Like I said, it does have multiple deployments, but the front flipper isn't all that great anyway. I just put my fingerprints all over it. Iconic designer. This is a Ray Laconico design. Has this killer, let's see if I can get that for you, orange peel finish. It's even on the clip. Titanium deep carry pocket clip. It is recessed, so there's no obstruction whatsoever there. As usual, fit and finish and the action on a WE knife is quite good. I guess the only real thing I don't like about it, the screws, the body screws go in from this side, and you can see them here. They screw right into the titanium. I've never had an issue with that, but you know, a lot of people say it's a thing, so it is what it is. These are about $200, maybe even less now, because they're just, you don't see a lot of them. So I'm gonna guess they don't sell super well, but it is a great little knife. Very, very comfortable. I can get a full 4-finger grip on it, and I just love a thumb stud opening. It is 20 CV blade, very thin. All WE knives really are, honestly. Kind of a dagger grind, but it is definitely not sharp up top, so your piercing ability will be excellent on this knife. So that is the WEAspirate. That's the first one. The second one's going to be a little different. This is a kind of a modern traditional. It does not have a pocket clip, but it is thumb stud deployment, and that is the Viper Turn. And I typically don't care for knives that don't have pocket clips, but this thing is awesome. It is super comfortable. I'm pretty sure that's titanium handles. I'm not 100% sure on that, but pretty sure it is. M390 blade, and that blade, look at that. Crazy thin. Great blade shape. Has a nice mirror edge on it as well. Very useful. And I don't know if you can, as you can see at plunge, the thumb stud's not in your cutting path, because your cutting path is going to follow that plunge grind there. So when you are cutting, that thumb stud's not going to be in the way. It is a back lock, and I do not recommend unlocking it. As you can, with one hand, as you can see, the blade will come down on your finger, guaranteed. You can reverse flick it, and you can flick it out with your thumb. Comes with a nice little leather pouch, and a lot of people like that kind of thing. And even if you don't wear it on your belt, which you can just slip it into your pocket, and this would be great to have just to toss in your console in your truck. You don't have to worry about it banging around in there and tearing it up. And good strong lock, crown spine, crown down through here. I'm guessing this is bone scales. Looks pretty cool. And it is kind of slick, but when you put your hand around there and you got it in a grip, it's not going anywhere. And then I like the way the jimping looks. It is useful jimping, but it also looks pretty good, and it breaks away at the, matches up nicely whenever you deploy the blade. So that is the Viper Turn. It is an Italian-made knife in M390, which is everybody's favorite girlfriend. So I'm sure nobody will have any issues with that. And these are going in order of my favorite, or my least favorite to my favorite of the four. I meant to say that at the beginning of the video. So, you know, we got two more. So the next one is an absolute icon, and I know I'm late to the game. So I'm not going to actually review the knife, because everybody and their cousin already has. But it is an icon anyway, and I just have to throw it out there. This is the Chavez 229 Liberation M390 blade. Iconic clip there. Heavy and robust and mean for a medium-sized knife. A lot of people would say this is a full size. I say it's medium. And again, it's my video, so I can say what I want. Bearings. Action is great, as usual, for a Riot, which in my opinion is far and away the best OEM, overseas OEM there is. Very minimal hardware. This one has the the pocket clip screws in from the back, which I think is a nice touch. Excellent M390 blade. Does get relatively thin, very pointy, piercing tip, very robust stock thickness. I do like the thumb studs. They look pretty cool, and they work well. They are something to get used to. I don't know any other way to explain that, because they're you gotta kind of get right at the exact perfect spot to deploy it. And another thing is the detent ramp. As you can see, you have to go a certain distance to get past. There is no detent ramp. That's the problem. You have to get past that detent just at the right spot before you can just let it drop shut. But it will drop shut quite easily. But if you deploy it and it hits right there on your thumb, then you're not past that detent. So that's a thing. It's not a big deal. You can always take it off here and make your own ramp. Just be very careful if you do that. Another thing I don't like is this corner here. Just this corner. Because it does hit right here in my palm, and it's irritating. It is sharp, and it might bother some people more than others. My hands are not soft by any stretch, as you can see. But when you're getting ready to deploy it, it is resting and kind of jabbing right into your palm there. So that's a thing too. Just, you know, these are so flippin' popular and a huge seller for Riyadh and for Chavez. This is the production model of one of his customs, and his customs are absolutely amazing, and they are very, very expensive and very, very hard to get. So next best thing is a production model, which these are expensive. These are $375. There's nothing cheap about it. They do come in a G10 as well. They come in many different, or not many. It comes in other blade shapes as well. You can use this choil here to stick your finger, but be careful because that is quite close to that edge. Anyway, I have no problem with having a production model of a custom, even though I would definitely want the custom more. Nobody can afford, not everybody can afford a $12 to $2,000 knife. It's just, that's a lot of money. And honestly, there's just not a whole lot of difference between these and the custom. That I've only held one, so take that for whatever it is. I've only held one, but not a huge difference in my opinion. Riyadh does just such a good job that, if that was made in America, it'd be an absolute fortune. And that's... sorry, I had to take a drink. And that's the point, I guess. Alright, last but not least, this is my favorite of the bunch, and it's not even really my style. This is more my style, typically, than the next one. Oh yeah, real quick. It says surprising cutting geometry for how thick the stock is. It really is. It cuts really, really well. And again, my thing is, if it's sharp enough, it'll cut. But yeah, it's got the cool factor, the stupid action. It's unapologetically heavy. And I don't have a scale out here, but I know it's pretty freaking heavy. And it's a bruiser without being huge. So that's typically my style. This next one just really grabbed me, and it is the Monterey Bay Knives Old Guard with the raindrop carbon fiber. That just looks amazing. Very lightweight, titanium frame lock, M390 blade, as you can see there. Phosphorus bronze washers, which is definitely my jam. Pretty good pocket clip. Nothing fancy about this knife, honestly. Well, except for the carbon fiber. Pretty straightforward design. The ergos are great because they're just, you know, this is just a generic blade shape also, but generic handle shape. And it fits just about everybody's hands, and it definitely fits mine. And I just think it's beautiful. The blade finish is also gorgeous, which I believe is a, if it's not a hand satin, it is a very, it's definitely been polished some. And I think that's awesome. It's just, it's not as just aggressive as this belt satin. And I prefer a satin blade also, especially over DLC or anything like that. Has a very useful, slicey, super thin blade. The blade stock is not even that thin, but this thing falls down to an incredibly thin slicing geometry. This is a very popular knife, and I looked on their website and they didn't have any, and I don't know if they still make them or not, but they do pop up on the secondary quite a bit. And I also couldn't figure out who the OEM was, but I have the sneaking suspicion that it's Riot. I do know Riot has made knives for them, but so has Kaiser, and so has what they call a smaller OEM, which could be fucking anybody, who knows. And this thing carries much smaller than it really is. This is a 3.5-inch blade, but carries much smaller than that. It is quite light. I love it. I wish it was mine. Thumb studs are pretty cool looking. Even they just have a little line in them, but they're not plain, and they're not these Sabenza style that really freaking suck. But it's comfortable in hand and in use, and it is my favorite of these four. Hit me up in the comments down there. What other thumb stud deployment knives are iconic and something that you think I should check out? Again, I love this one. I wish it was still available. Another thumb stud deploying knife that I like is the XM18. Yeah, I know it's a flipper as well, or most of them are, but every hinderer I've ever had, I've always used the thumb stud, and it's really not a thumb stud. It's a stop pan, but I use it as a thumb stud. And hinders are just so hard to freaking get right now, and they're hard to catch, and you know, secondary being what it is, I just kind of left them alone for a while. And I don't care about the controversy that's been going on with Hinder or any other knife company for that matter. Actually, there's a couple that I flat refuse to buy, but I'm not even going to get into that right now. That's all I got for you guys today. I actually made it through this video. Thank God. Make sure you guys check out Patreon if you're interested. You can get a chance to win some cool shit. The odds would be great. You'll help the channel, and you can cancel anytime you want. And make sure you check out Satu Dave, Timbo 437, and My Bad Adventures. I'm sure nobody's watching the video this far to the end, but if you do, if you are watching it, I appreciate it. It's been a freaking rough week, and it's continuing to be rough, and that's nobody's problem. I get that, and I'm not looking for any pity. So I do hope everybody has themselves a fantastic weekend. Enjoy the nice weather if you have nice weather where you're at. Where I'm at, it's nice weather this weekend. And I got some fixed blades coming up this weekend, and a couple others, and got some more stuff on the way from some people loaning them to me. Again, like button, please. It really helps. Subscribe, share, check out Patreon if you want, and you guys have a fantastic weekend. Talk to you later.